This story I got from Greg, and it starts with one of the weirdest things I've ever heard. Greg went on a date with his sister. Yeah, that's what I said too, but stay with me because it gets way worse than that. Greg had been single for a while. He wasn't super into dating apps, but one night he downloaded one just for fun. He figured he'd scroll, maybe chat with someone interesting. That's when he matched with a girl named Lonnie. She had dark hair, a big smile, and a sarcastic bio that made him laugh. They hit it off right away. Same jokes, same favorite movies, same weird thoughts about how stairs feel like they're watching you. You know, strange stuff that makes you click with someone fast. She told him her name was Lonnie, spelled with an I. Greg joked that it was a weird name. She said it was just a nickname, something her brother used to call her when they were kids. Greg paused. Something about that felt familiar, but he laughed it off. They talked for a few days and decided to meet for dinner. The second he saw her, Greg froze. She froze too. They both started laughing, because standing right in front of him was his sister Lonnie. "What are you doing here?" Greg asked. She said, "You're Lonnie, 123?" They laughed so hard people at nearby tables stared. Turns out they'd both used fake names and old photos. Lonnie had used a picture from high school and a different name just to mess around. Greg had done the same. It should have been the end of it. Just a funny story, but it wasn't. They decided to eat dinner anyway. They hadn't hung out in a while, and it was actually kind of nice. They joked about how broken dating apps were, talked about weird people they'd matched with, and even brought up old memories from when they were kids, like the time Greg got stuck in the laundry chute, or how Lonnie always hid under his bed to scare him. It was fun, it really was, but there was something about her that felt different. Not in a big way, just little things. Her voice was a bit quieter. Her eyes were darker than he remembered, and sometimes when she laughed, it didn't feel like her laugh. Greg thought maybe he was just tired, or maybe he was overthinking it. They hugged goodbye. She told him to text her, and he did, that night. "Still can't believe we matched, LOL. Want to hang out again soon?" But she didn't answer. The next day, he tried calling her. Her number didn't work. Weird. He checked the dating app. Gone. No messages, no profile, no match history. It was like she'd never been there. Greg got this sinking feeling in his chest. He called his mom. That's when everything cracked. "Mom, have you talked to Lonnie?" he asked. Silence. Then his mom said, soft and careful, "Greg, we've talked about this." Lonnie passed away. It's been 3 years. Greg felt like the floor dropped out under him. "No," he whispered. "I had dinner with her last night." His mom started crying. "You're not well," she said. "You promised you were doing better." Greg hung up. He needed proof. He had to prove to himself that it happened. He drove to the restaurant. The hostess recognized him. "You came in last night, right?" she said. "Yeah," Greg replied. "Do you remember the girl I was with?" She tilted her head. "You were alone." Greg's stomach flipped. "I was talking, laughing," he said. "We were sitting near the window." She nodded slowly. "Yeah, we saw you. You were laughing and talking, but you were by yourself." He begged the manager to check the security cameras, and when he watched the footage, there he was, sitting alone, smiling, laughing, talking to no one. He raced home, tore his room apart, checked old pictures, old letters. He found the obituary. Lonnie died in a car accident 3 years ago. Same smile, same nickname. Greg felt like he was going to be sick, but it wasn't over. That night, he deleted the dating app, but the next morning, it was back on his phone. He didn't reinstall it, he swears, and when he opened it, there she was, same photo, same profile. Name, Lonnie 123. Message, let's catch up again. I had fun. Greg threw his phone across the room. And that's where the story ends. At least, that's where Greg's version ends. But I have one question for you. If someone you love is gone, are you sure they're really gone? Because some matches should never happen. This story was sent in by a guy named Ryan. He didn't ask for help. He didn't even ask for advice. He just wanted someone to know. Because what happened to him? He says it started in a dream. Ryan had this dream one night, a girl standing at the edge of a lake. He was a kid in the dream, but she looked older, maybe 16. She smiled and waved like they'd known each other forever. He didn't think much of it, just a random dream. But she kept showing up, same girl, same place. Sometimes they'd sit under a tree and talk. Sometimes they'd walk along the water. She never said her name, but Ryan always felt calm around her, like she belonged. Then one night, she said something that made his chest tighten. "Do you remember the dog? The one that got hit by the truck?" Ryan hadn't thought about that in years. He was 6 when it happened, and he never told anyone it haunted him. When he woke up, he chalked it up to his brain just digging up old memories. But it wasn't a dream anymore, not really. A week later, he downloaded a dating app, just to scroll. He wasn't even looking for anything serious. That's when he saw her. Same eyes, same face, same smile from the dreams. Name, Eva, age, 24. Bio, let's skip the small talk and talk about the stuff that really matters. Ryan's stomach dropped. He swiped right, instant match. They started messaging. She was charming, funny. Her favorite movie was the same as his. She even knew the lyrics to an old song his dad used to sing before bed. He told her she looked like someone from a dream. She replied, "I know. I've been waiting for you to wake up." Ryan stared at his screen. Was it a joke? She didn't answer. They decided to meet. A coffee shop near his place. She looked exactly like her photos, but more real, almost too real. Her eyes didn't blink enough. Her smile stayed a little too long. They talked for over an hour. She brought up things from his past, things she shouldn't know. Like the treehouse his dad built that collapsed when he was 9. The stuffed animal he used to carry around and hide in his backpack. The day he hid in the closet after his parents fought. He never told anyone that. He asked her how she knew. She said, "I was there." That night, Ryan couldn't sleep. He checked her profile again. It was gone. No messages, no photos. Like she'd never existed. He opened his texts. Her number was gone too. Ryan started wondering if he imagined the whole thing, if maybe he was losing it. But then things got worse. He started dreaming again, but the lake was gone. Now it was a house he didn't recognize, and Eva was there, standing at the top of a staircase. She didn't wave anymore. She just stared. One night, she whispered something he didn't understand. It wasn't a language. It wasn't words. It felt like a command. He woke up sweating, but his phone buzzed. A text. Unknown number. It said, "Come downstairs." He lived alone. He checked the hallway, nothing, locked the door, shut every window. But the next morning, something was under his pillow. A necklace. He recognized it. It used to belong to his mom. She lost it when he was a kid. They searched the whole house and never found it again. Now it was back, and he hadn't seen it in 15 years. Ryan stopped sleeping after that. Every time he closed his eyes, she was closer. She'd sit at the end of his bed or stand just outside his dream's doorway, always watching. Then came the night he screamed in his sleep. His neighbor called him the next day and said, "Who were you yelling at?" I thought someone broke in. Ryan didn't remember yelling. He didn't even remember falling asleep, but he did remember her voice in the dream. "Stop trying to forget me," she said. "I'm not just a dream anymore." Ryan deleted the app, deleted every app, got a new phone. But one night, it lit up by itself. One new app, one single icon, a heart, slowly beating. He tapped it. One match. Eva, same photo, same message. "Let me in. He doesn't dream anymore. He doesn't sleep, won't risk it." He told me this story in a whisper, eyes darting toward the corners of the room. Then he said something that stuck with me. She was never a dream. I think she was waiting for someone to make her real. So, if you ever match with someone who feels too perfect, someone who knows too much, ask yourself this: did you really swipe right? Or did she? This story comes from a guy named Tyler. And if he's telling the truth, it's not just creepy. It's terrifying. Tyler met her on a dating app. Her name was Elise. She was smart, loved books, had a weird obsession with jelly beans. She made him laugh even when he didn't want to. "She just got me," he told me. They started talking late at night when he couldn't sleep, then texting in the morning, then calling during lunch. She said everything he needed to hear, like she already knew what was in his head. Tyler thought she was perfect. And for a while, she was. They met for the first time at a bookstore. She wore a green hoodie, the one she joked was her thinking cape. They talked for 3 hours straight. No awkward silences, no small talk, just connection. Tyler didn't even realize the store had closed around them. She gave him a soft kiss on the cheek and said, "You don't have to be alone anymore." A few weeks later, he tried to introduce her to his friends. They were having a game night. He brought her along, but nobody said hi. Nobody even looked at her. Tyler was confused. "Guys, this is Elise." They stared. His friend Dan said, "Are you messing with us?" Tyler laughed. "What do you mean? There's no one there." Tyler thought it was a prank, some dumb joke. He stormed out. Elise followed, rubbing his back, whispering, "They just don't want us to be happy." He believed her. After that, he stopped inviting people over. His friends texted less. His phone started ringing at weird hours. Numbers with no name, no message, just breathing. He told Elise about it. She smiled and said, "They're just trying to pull you away from me, but I won't let them." One night, Tyler woke up to the sound of whispering. The room was dark. Elise sat at the edge of the bed, her back to him. He couldn't make out the words. When he reached for her, she vanished. Just for a second. Then she was back, smiling. "You were dreaming," she said. But he knew he was awake. Tyler started noticing other things. His bathroom mirror fogged up when he hadn't used hot water. The fridge door would be open in the morning, even though he never used it at night. He'd find sticky notes on his desk with handwriting he didn't recognize. "Don't go back. You forgot on purpose. She's watching." He asked Elise if she wrote them. She looked hurt. "Why would I leave notes if I'm always here?" That made sense, sort of. But the nightmares got worse. Elise staring at him, mouth open but no sound, eyes wide, not blinking. Sometimes she'd whisper the same words over and over. "You promised you'd never leave me again." Tyler didn't remember making any promises. Then one day, he dropped his phone behind his bed. While reaching for it, he found something taped to the wall, photos of himself, sleeping, brushing his teeth, eating alone, all taken from strange angles, from inside his apartment. His hands started shaking. He ran into the kitchen, pulled out drawers, ripped open cabinets, more photos, stacks of them, and all of them were of him. He turned to Elise, who was standing behind him. She looked calm. "I didn't want you to find those," she said. Why are you taking pictures of me?" he asked. Her voice changed. "You forgot, Tyler. You asked me to stay." "I don't understand," he whispered. "You made me. After what happened, you needed me." Tyler backed away. "Elise, what do you mean?" She stepped closer. "There was an accident. You were driving. She died. You couldn't handle it." His breath caught. "No," he said. "No, that wasn't real." "You made me to keep her alive," she said softly. "But I'm not her. I'm what's left." His brain started spinning. Flashes, rain, screams, a broken windshield, the real Elise's face, bloodied still. He had buried the memory. He had buried her. And this thing, this version of her, was keeping it buried. He dropped to his knees. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't know." She knelt with him, touched his face. "You remember now," she whispered. Tears fell from his eyes. "What happens now?" She kissed his forehead. "Now I go." The next morning, she was gone. No photos, no messages, no app on his phone. Just silence, and a single note on his desk. "You're ready now. Don't forget again." But sometimes, late at night, Tyler still hears a knock at the door, and a whisper behind the wall. "You don't have to be alone."